May I come in, sir? Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
बैठिए. Vishal Dhakad.
Yes, sir, ma'am.
Today we are lucky. We are getting Vijal Mahans and Dhakads today.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Our day is made. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Your medium of interview is English or Hindi?
English, sir.
English. Great. Okay. Vishal, will you please briefly tell us about yourself?
Sir, my name is VISHAL DHAKAD. I belong to Ashoknagar district of Madhya Pradesh. I have done my graduation from Ramjas College, University of Delhi in BA program with my subjects as history and political science. I have optional as sociology and this was my second attempt to UPSC.
Okay. You are very young. You are all of 22 years. So first attempt, how was the journey?
Sir, in first attempt I was not able to clear prelims.
Clear the prelims?
Yes, sir.
Now you cracked the main also.
Yes, sir. The CSET was not able to qualify.
Okay. So, what are your hobbies?
Sir, my hobbies is to read self-help books and to listen informative podcasts and to analyze gender-based stratification systems in India.
या कोई ऐसी हॉबी बताओ जिसमें जवान आदमी हो मस्ती भी करते हो.
Like sir, I read like informative podcasts are like somewhat interesting.
तो मतलब ये है कि पढ़ो लिखोगे तो बनोगे नवाब, खेलोगे कूदोगे तो होगे खराब टाइप है फिलॉसफी. मस्ती करने से कोई लेना नहीं.
Sir, in recent years, these two hobbies I have developed in the recent years, like during my preparation for civil services. But before that, I used to play in my school days, like sports. That was a recreational activities for me.
क्या?
Sir, handball.
Handball. Okay. All right. Tell me, Vishal, is this Dhakad word is used in a song of a hit movie. Which movie was that?
It was Dangal movie, sir.
Dangal.
Yes.
बोलो ना फिल्म भी देखते हो आप. Now I'm glad that you watched that. All right. You are a student of political science.
Yes.
And your subject was sociology.
Yes.
And you say that your mother's income is zero, right? And she is just a housewife,
Yes.
right? But tell me, the kind of work she does at home,
Was-
what would be the value of that? Should that not form part of the GDP of the country?
Definitely, sir. As all mothers do at the part of the housework like cooking, washing clothes, and cleaning houses. Definitely, sir. I agree with you that the work should be monetized and should be included in the GDP of India. That would also include that will also represent in our national growth. As chief of IMF also said that if the work of the women is monetized, then India's GDP will increase to 27%.
So you believe, what would be the benefit to women if this was supposed to be included in the GDP? What will happen to the housewives?
Sir, by monetizing the work, we can take a first step in women-led development. It will be a first step in women empowerment.
No, if let's say I'm a mother,
Okay, sir.
I'm doing all these chores at home,
Yes, sir.
and tomorrow you as DM come and say, Mom, whatever you are doing, you are contributing this much to the GDP.
Yes,
So
sir.
what would be my reaction? How would women feel whose work is as yet not part of the GDP? How will they react to it?
Sir, they will definitely have control over authority of the decisions and taking house decisions. So I think they will have a more say in that.
So you mean to say that the decision making will devolve, or they will become part of the decision making process also?
Sir, till now, sir, they are not considered as part of a decision-taking activities in traditional Indian houses. Yes, sir.
Bundelkhand is a very backward area,
Yes, sir.
Madhya Pradesh. There has been a demand for creating a new state.
Yes, sir.
And do you think this demand is justified?
Sir, a demand of Bundelkhand is mainly due to economic and political reasons. but some allege that it is also due to cultural reasons. As far as cultural reasons are concerned, that can be agreed. The major issues are economic and political backwardness. So, sir, those issues can be resolved, and there is no need to basically separate Bundelkhand from MP and UP and make a separate state.
Briefly, how do you resolve? Bullet points, no explanation.
Sir, primarily I would like focus on irrigation aspects in agriculture, because it is a major problem. Yes, sir.
Next.
In political, sir, there are already many initiatives like in political fields. Means in political representation should be increased.
How will you increase its population base, and delimitation is already done in the state? How will you increase their participation?
Like, sir, economic, I think majorly economic focus should be given to
You are changing your stance.
Sir, I mentioned economic.
You mentioned economic and political. I didn't say that.
Yes, sir, I mentioned.
So why are you dithering now from your stand?
Sir, politically, they are basically we cannot reserve any seats for Bundelkhand. But
these are already reserved. They have 3-tier representation.
Yes.
At the local level, state level, and the national level. It is already done. So what more?
Sir, I think there are grievances which are there, and I think political medium like political parties is not the only solution. Like, we can take help of pressure groups and local NGOs to represent their demands, their valid demands.
No, there are pressure groups, but they don't listen to them. Bundelkhand is Bundelkhand in the last 75 years without any improvement. So what more political party will do for them? What political solution is for them?
So, like, there are many channels for channelizing their grievances.
You said many channels. Define those many channels.
Challenges.
Yeah, you said that there are many channels for their grievances. Please define.
Sir, one thing is I recently mentioned, it's pressure group.
One pressure group. Okay.
Yes, sir. And sir, they can basically take help of NGOs at local level.
Okay, chalo, non-profits, okay.
Yes,
NGOs, sir. What else?
Sir, I cannot recall.
You never think of more.
Yes, sir, at right time.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome, Mr. VISHAL Thakkar. You might have heard of old pension scheme and new pension scheme.
Yes, sir, I have.
What's the difference?
Sir, the new pension schemes basically tells that government will co-contribute, but earlier government solely contributes in the pensions of users, and this new pension scheme is open to a common individual as well. Earlier it was available only to officials or the personals in the.
Okay, suppose you are posted in the government with the chief minister, and the staff, state government staff, is asking them to revert to old pension scheme.
Yes, sir.
And you have been given task to convince those staff association to stick to new pension scheme that is more beneficial. How you will do that?
Sir, the one thing I would tell them that in long terms, government will be more able to co-contribute in their pensions sector, as highlighting the recent instance, like recent condition of governments where it is already burdened with fiscal problems. So I think they will be convinced.
You see, the person, the pressure group, the staff group is concerned for themselves first.
Yes, sir.
These are all tops. They have to be convinced that they will be benefited more. How you will convince them?
I think there is one provision of. So I'm not able to recall the provision.
Leave it. You can read about it. Okay, no problem. See, after COVID-19, economies world over went into a difficult phase.
Yes, sir.
Unemployment, inflation. USA also went. We showed up everywhere.
Yes, sir.
USA dollar keep on strengthening.
Yes.
Against every other currency of the world. What is the reason of USA dollar strengthening when the economy is not doing well?
Sir, not able to recall. Like,
Not able to make. Okay. Okay, I'll come to a different topic. There are presidential form of government and there are prime minister, this parliamentary form of government.
yes, sir.
Now, the elections are being fought on the basis of a face, a personality.
Yes, sir.
That is the trait of the presidential form. So, is it the right time for us to move from parliamentary system of democracy to presidential system of democracy? If yes, why? If no, why?
So definitely presidential form of government has various benefits. There are less deliberations and discussions, and there is one phase government. But seeing India's largest democracy and a wider representation, I think it would not be fruitful to go for presidential systems, as our constitutional makers were well averse and were well aware about the benefits of parliamentary system, that it would represent more people in the legislative.
So many constitutional changes have been made. This can also be made. USA, the oldest democracy, it is functioning very well there.
I think, sir, we focus more on representation rather than stability, and that like more.
The hands of prime minister are tied, but he can choose ministers only from the MPs.
Yes, sir.
But president is free to choose any expert from any field.
Yes, sir, definitely that only,
Better
sir.
system.
Sir, I recently mentioned that with presidential system we get expertise, but what this expertise will be of use when there is no representation of people to whom they will govern.
But see,
In large
you
context.
know the US system, there are House of Representatives, there is Senate, all are represented the people only. And they also exercise powers, checks and balances, everything. Is it like a parliament?
But in presidential system, president, as far as I know, sir, in USA, president can select anyone in his cabinet. It is not necessary that he may be from Senate only. He can select any individual from any expert field.
Chalo, okay, I'll leave it at that also. Last question. Have you heard of China Plus One?
Yes, sir.
What is China Plus One?
Sir, it's basically renewed emphasis given by India and other diamond democracies to seek other alternative from China to diversify their supply resources. One recent instance which I can recall is Supply Chain Resilience Initiative. And sir, I think other thing I can recall is, sir, like India is more emphasizing on attracting investment other than China.
Which are the few countries which have benefited most out of the China Plus One policy? Can you name few countries?
Sir, I think Southeast Asian economies like India and Vietnam, I think so, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Vishal, how you like to be called, Dhakad or Vishal?
Sir, it would sound more good if I be called Vishal Dhakad only.
Full name.
Yes.
So you like to be addressed as Vishal Dhakad.
Yes.
Okay, Vishal Dhakad, your father is agriculturist.
Yes, sir. My father.
What is the size of holding he has?
Sir, 2.5 acres.
2.5 acres. Yes. What does he grow? What do you grow normally there?
Sir, we grow various kinds of crops in Rabi and Kharif seasons. In Kharif season, we mostly grow maize and soybean. And in Rabi season, we grow gram and mustard and lentils.
Okay. Is it because this soil and weather is good, or is it some other reason why he grows these?
Sir, there are various reasons for growing these kind of crops, like kind of climate, particular type of soil is also present, and also, sir, the level of irrigations. Reason.
Does this MSP?
Yes, sir.
You are aware of this concept?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Is it a factor for when taking decision what kind of crop to be grown?
Yes, sir, definitely it is one of the reason. In growing, I think most probably the wheat, as we also grow wheat. So we get a good price for wheat, as it is already from government.
Do you think that MSP is distorting the market?
Sir, I would not, sir, in Indian context, I would not say that MSP is distorting the market. Has been more largely fruitful to farmers, but WTO alleges that at international level, it distorts the market.
So, what do you think if you feel that it is not distorting the market? That suddenly the Punjab and Haryana have become the paddy growing, states. Traditionally, it was not grown.
Yes, sir.
What could be the factor for that? That farmers are adopting this crop, despite the fact that it is not traditionally grown.
Yes, sir. This is one of the consequences of the MSPs. Like we should take care of the supply of rice and wheat has been increased drastically. But rather than distorting the market, it has created more the problem of buffer stocks. Like the food is wastage, and like environmental problems are also created due to this.
Then what you will call distortion? If
Right.
it is not distortion, then what you will call distortion?
So I mostly emphasize on market distortion, but definitely, sir, MSP has consequences which are not good.
Your father is a small farmer, so
Yes.
falls into the category. What kind of government schemes you feel that has benefited him?
Sir, one scheme which I can recall is Yantradoot scheme of MP government, where they allow to purchase. They allow to take agricultural mechanized inputs at rent. So farmers, without investing in those inputs which are costly, they can basically practice their agriculture. And sir, others are PM Kisan scheme, where government contributes 6,000 rupees annually in 2,000 installments each, 3 installments.
You have these hobbies, which is quite interesting.
Yes.
Analyzing gender-based stratification system in India.
Yes.
What was the reason that you in college you went for this hobby? Any particular reason for that?
Sir, till 12th I studied history and political science, but after I started preparing for civil services, I taken sociology as optional, and during my preparation I was more interested in reading issues related to women, so I gone more into depth.
So, what is your conclusions on that in the studies? Since you are analyzing, what is your conclusions on that, in that aspects?
Sir, my concluding is that women should be empowered politically, economically, and socially.
But that is everybody says. What you have contributed to that?
Sir, like by analyzing, I haven't basically written any research papers, but I usually mostly discuss with my friends. As I completed my graduation in 2022 only, so in recent 1 year, the debates which are focusing on women, I like to talk on those issues.
You also have this very good habit of listening to the informative podcasts. How useful they are and how you control the disinformation. Have you come across any informative broadcast which distorts information? It is not actually the disinformation.
Sir, I think there may be many meanings to a particular type of information. Some may consider it as information, other consider it as misinformation. But largely what I have encountered are basically information only, which proved helpful for me.
So you have not come across any distortion in social media podcasts, because we are limiting ourselves to the podcast.
Till now, sir, I haven't come across any.
You've been very lucky, I would say. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Vishal,
Yes.
I'll continue with the same line of thought. Your hobby of internalizing self-help books.
Yes, sir.
What have you internalized lately?
Sir, by reading the book Alchemist by Paul Coelho, I internalized that if you diets or if you want to achieve something and you are really oriented towards it, then whole world conspires in letting you achieve that.
इसके लिए why did you need to read that book? You should have seen that film of Shah Rukh Khan.
No, sir, definitely. I was aware of all these things, but I think we get first-hand experience of reading these books. So that's why, sir, I have said that these are more internalized to me now. I will never for.
Why should it be called a hobby?
Yes, sir.
You know what is a hobby, what is generally considered as a hobby. Why should this particular thing, internalizing self-help books, be considered a hobby?
Sir, sir, actually, whenever I get free times, I used to read these books, and whatever I find best on those books, I basically note down those things or basically ponder over those things.
What other book have you read in this direction apart from Alchemist?
Sir, I have read The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy, and also read How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Have you read a book called Many Lives, Many Masters?
No, sir, I haven't yet.
Okay. Sociology and political science. What is the relationship between politics and society?
Sir, politics is an instrument of achieving authority for serving wider people in legal and political terms. But society is a systematic interactions of people where patterns are, where relations are patterned. So there can be society in politics and politics in society.
There can be society in politics.
Sociological dimensions in political relationships,
Okay.
in political institutions, like role of caste in politics, that's.
Is a leader required to be in a society? Can a society not be leaderless?
So it would have been good if the society would have not have been leaderless. That would created a welfare state like thing. But in present context, I think, sir, we need a leader and someone to represent.
So you mean to say, to answer my question crisply, you do not agree that a society cannot stay without a leader?
Sir, in present context, so I, sir, don't believe that there can be society without a leader.
There cannot be a society without a leader? This is what you said?
Sir, in present context, so I think.
Okay. Who is considered to be the father of sociology?
Sir, G.S. Ghurye is known as father of.
Who?
G.S. Ghurye.
G.S. Ghurye.
Father of Indian sociology, sir.
Okay. You have given IFS as your fifth choice.
Yes.
How would you use the concepts of sociology if you were posted as a diplomat abroad?
Sir. Sir, I think I can basically use the soft power of India and.
That's not what I am looking for. Soft power of India is part of culture, which is a stretched point from the sociology. But how will you use the concepts of sociology to study the society in which you have been placed in? Any foreign country.
Like, sir, concepts of capitalism can be very well utilized.
Okay. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Vishal.
Good afternoon.
Vishal, you come from Mudra Kala, Madhya Pradesh.
Yes, sir,
Mudra Kala is a village name or village name?
Sir, it's the name of my village, Mudrakala.
Okay. How did it get its name?
Sir, I haven't read more about it, but I am aware about that term Kala. Like, it is used for a village which is having somewhat large population. It's a Persian word, Kala.
Kala by mean you some kind of kala?
No, sir, that art not.
Artifact kala or the
sir,
dancing wala?
No, sir, not. It's a Persian term which means a village with large population.
Okay. Can you name some few Ramsar sites from your state?
Sir, like one I can recall is Sakya Sagar in Shivpuri district. Other is Patalkot, if I am not wrong, sir.
How many are
Bhoj
there?
wetlands, sir.
How many are there?
Sir, not able to recall.
Okay. I want to ask a question about caste. What do you think about caste-based organization? Are they good or bad?
Sir, caste-based organizations provide representations to caste communities. But due to political aspirations and for seeking vote bank, sometimes the fruitful significance turns to be disastrous, and issues of casteism we see in day-to-day politics.
Can you give me a binary answer, good or bad, caste-based organization?
So I would say it gives representation to caste-based communities.
So you agree what Karni Sena would have been doing in Rajasthan?
Sir, the own foundations in which it was found was to basically highlight the issues of Karni Sena, like to basically protect their culture. But recently we heard the news like they basically engages in activities which are not accepted in a democratic form of government. So I think these are some issues, sir, which needs to be resolved.
Okay, interesting. One of your hobbies is that which sir panel member have already been discussing, analyzing gender-based stratification systems in India.
Yes, sir.
Generally, in corporate world or in any kind of companies we see, what's the gender ratio? What's the generalized gender ratio we have?
So
There has been a report from McKinsey.
not aware about.
Okay, generally it's like 2 to 10.
Okay, sir. Thank
That kind of squid ratio. And recently a survey came from Manrega.
you. Yes, sir.
Women participation increased up to 60%.
Yes.
And since your father is also associated with agriculture, why you think women association in Narega, how it happened?
Sir, there are many reasons, sociological reasons, and more to say economic reasons are the reason behind increased participation of women in rural activities. Sir, the first reason which I can recall is increased income of rural households. Like means, sir, sorry, sir. I would. First reason is, sir, that there is basically distressed migration of male population from rural areas to urban areas. So that is the one reason. Second is, sir, women are considered docile personality who can work on low wages at very meager conditions and very low wages. So they are hired more in rural areas. So these I can recall for increased participation of women. And sir, that only.
Okay. Vishal, can you recall of all those 3 farm laws which were in use last year?
Yes, sir, I can recall. Sir, one was to.
Just tell me the impact of those laws on your father's land also.
So if the law like that e-NAM was basically like a national agriculture market was put into place, then definitely, sir, it would have contributed in the increased income of my father. Second was related to contract farming. For my father, sir, it would not be government objective was good, but there might be some issues related to contract farming in future. Third was I'm not able to recall, but concludingly, sir, objectives of the government were good to increase double the farmer incomes, but I think government was not consulted those laws with the farmers and other organizations. So that was the reason for taking those laws back.
Vishal, is agriculture a profession?
Yes, sir, agriculture is a profession.
Okay, as a profession, do you think agriculture should be exposed to open market?
Open markets. So open markets have various benefits, like farmer gets various technologies and extension services.
Open market means the open competition we are talking about. There would be no subsidies.
No subsidies.
What is open market?
Oh, sorry, sir. I thought like you are asking about contract farming. Open market, definitely, sir, like many companies would be competing with the farmers. That would I can recall.
Okay, Vishal. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So Vishal Dhakad,
Yes, sir.
this ends your formal
Okay.
interview.
Okay.
We'll discuss with you. This is your first mock,
Yes, sir. Definitely. Yes, first one.
and this is your first interview for the UPSC.
Yes, sir. It's first.
Right? I think I'm doing your second interview.
No, sir. It's first interview.
So did you appear for an online also?
No, sir.
You haven't.
No, sir.
feel that it's yours. Could be.
Sir, there are other Dhakad. Neeraj Dhakad is there. Sir.
Huh?
Neeraj Dhakad is there. Sir.
So, okay. How do you know?
Yes, sir.
How do you know the Dhaka, the other Dhaka?
No, sir, he is from my area only, like from my district only,
Okay.
nearby district.
So, Dhakas are cracking it.
Yes, sir, we can say this time
Is
there
it,
is
is it like, well, fail and everybody gets a first division, or it is something else? Okay, anyway, tell me, Vishal, how do you think you did today in the interview?
So it was good. I could have done better. Like I was anxious. Like it was my first interview, and talking to you people like you are, it was a very good experience. Sir.
Okay,
Yes.
all right, good assessment, fine. And you said you were anxious,
Yes. Sir.
right? It is written on your face.
Yes.
No problems with that. When is your interview?
So schedule didn't came yet.
Not so. Very good.
Yes.
Very good. So you have plenty of time to work,
Yes.
right? And Vishal, since it is your first interview and the first mock, I would like to tell you that this interaction
Yes.
is not. We are not judging your knowledge.
Definitely. Sir.
That mains exam has done.
Yes.
So what we are discussing here is how to interact,
Definitely. Sir.
how much knowledge or how deeply you go into issues. What is your power to rationalize the thoughts that you have, convince others about your things, whether you shift your stand, you have shifted in your this interview couple of times, you change the track, right? So what kind of officer like qualities you have, whether you are able to stand up to what you value, and you're talking out of your conviction with honesty, integrity,
Yes.
right?
These
That is what. And then you should also remember that whatever questions will come to you will come from three sources basically. One, you have provided your DAF. So your DAF, you have mentioned your educational qualifications, about yourself, about your background, about your hobbies and all. So there will be questions on that. So you should be thorough with your DAF, right? The second is your subjects, whether that is your educational qualification
Yes.
or the optional that you have chosen.
Yes. Sir. Such
And what is important is that whether you are able to relate the academic education
Yes. Sir.
with the situation on the ground. Are you able to understand the problems on the ground, apply your learnings to them, and find solutions? Number two would be that, and three would be the general awareness,
Okay. Sir.
which is a huge basket.
Yes.
And believe me, you are not supposed to know everything.
Yes.
Wherever you don't know, be upfront and beg forgiveness that I would rather study more on it than hazard a guess.
Yes. Sir.
Saying that, you lose nothing.
Yes. Sir. Definitely.
In 30 to 40 minutes that board will spend with you, I mean, there could be occasions when you don't know a couple of things. So that's okay. Don't feel bad about it. What I found was, now coming to the, wherever you didn't know the questions,
Yes. Sir.
then you became more anxious.
Definitely.
Oh, मैं तो फेल हो जाऊंगा कि मेरा कुछ नहीं होगा, है ना?
That fear.
So
continues
yeah,
upon us.
and remember, there would be one of us who would like to throw you off balance deliberately.
Definitely.
Let us see how he reacts under pressure. Can he take stress and still be smiling, still be good with whatever composure he had?
Definitely. Sir.
So don't worry about few questions that you cannot answer. Okay, let it pass.
Okay, sir. I will.
Right? And coming to your the turnout,
Yes.
first you looked very sullen to me.
Yes. Sir.
I mean, when you entered, You are a young man, 22, all of 22 years of age. You should be cheerful. Look at the number of people who don't crack mains.
Definitely, sir.
You have achieved something. It should be written on your face. No?
Definitely, sir.
So come with a smile, come with a confidence. You walk into the room with confidence of an achiever. And why should you look sullen? There is no reason for you to look that way.
Definitely.
Right? And the sitting posture, I would say that you're keeping your hands on the thighs. Is this your natural posture? No.
No, sir, it was first time like
कैसे बैठते हो?
normal.
अगर आपने नॉर्मल बैठना हो कैसे बैठोगे कुर्सी पे? करो, हाँ करो, जैसे भी बैठना है करो. एक तरफ तो लीन नहीं करना है. Sit straight.
Just
You can keep your hands like this. है ना? You can keep your hand. This is much better. Aren't you feeling better with this?
yes, sir. Feeling better.
Sit like this. You can make use of hands also. No, again you are gone back to that. So remember that. है ना?
Okay, sir.
1, 2. This kind of beard will not do. You should be clean shaven,
Okay.
right? You either have a beard or not have a beard. You cannot have something in between.
Yes, sir. I will more clean it like.
No, important thing is the day of the interview.
Yeah.
in the morning
On
you
that-
must clean shave.
You must clean shave. Your shoes should be impeccably clean.
Yes, sir.
I mean, they should be clean. There should not be. These should be well polished,
Okay, sir.
clean. And if you have to carry a rag with you or a tissue with you to clean them before you enter the UPSC
Yes, sir.
building, do that.
Definitely.
Your socks.
Yes, sir.
Your socks should not reveal the brand you are wearing.
Okay. Okay.
So, it's the logo of a brand.
Okay.
So there should be matching. So socks is fine, but dark socks,
I will sir wear long shorts like maybe chote
whatever,
that one.
right? And then your tie.
Yes.
You are wearing your tie too short.
Okay.
दो चीज़ें टाई में ठीक नहीं हमको लगती है. एक तो ये ऊपर पूरा कसा होना चाहिए,
Okay.
कॉलर के साथ ऊपर टच होना. देखिए आप सब लोगों को जो टाई पहनते हैं, देखिए सबको. Learn from that, right? And then your tie, the tip of the tie should be touching your belt.
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 Okay, sir. थोड़ा लंबा कर लूँगा इसको.
लंबा इसको होना है, right? Okay, and as I said, कि during conversation,
Yes, sir.
whether you know or not, don't betray your lack of confidence.
Okay.
You start groping for words. Take a pause, think, and when you open your mouth to answer, you made just one point in a hurry, and after that you search for what next.
Like reason for Bundelkhand, like political and economic reasons.
Yes.
That-
Instead, think, ask the board, can I take a couple of seconds to think? Then figure out,
Yes.
and then say, like you could have always said, कि water scarcity is their biggest problem, which is economically pulling them down. So there is a river linking project that will irrigate the lands. Or you could list some more steps that the government has taken.
Yes.
So you have to build your argument when you say that division of the state is not required.
Yes.
Build and politically also you should be able to say, yes, they have 3-tier representation. There are grievance redressal mechanisms. There is a minister from them. You should know that if there is a minister from Bundelkhand
Yes, sir.
in the state cabinet, and there must be one.
There are.
So, build your case, and you have a long way to go.
Yes.
Now, build a question bank. Since you have time,
Yes.
build around between 80 to 100 A4 size papers. Make your questions from DAF, your educational background, and general current affairs, write down. And answer should be bullet answers,
Okay.
not full long answers, so that you remember those bullet points go into your head.
Okay.
You will not stutter
Okay, sir.
when asked for the reasons for that. Then you will enlist the reasons,
Point out.
right?
Point out.
And practice in front of a mirror.
Okay.
that you are, how are you communicating? And I'm sure you are very young, you have nothing to lose, you have everything to gain.
Definitely, sir.
You have time on your side before the interview, so all the very best. If
One more point. I don't think this was mentioned, and also because it was your first interview. When you are answering to any particular member of the panel,
Okay.
remember, if your answer is getting longer,
Yes, sir.
look around, especially if some member is acknowledging your answer or doing some movement or nodding the head. While moving your gaze, you must have an eye contact and look at different people. The general rule is about 60 to 65% gaze should be on the panel member who has asked you the question, and rest of the time you can look around. Okay?
That would be a more good.
All right. All the best to you.
okay,
Thank you.
all the best.
Wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
भाई साहब